Hello. Good evening. It's Wednesday night. So this time I wanted to design the data layer and the API layer. Yesterday we worked on the front end, designing the front end at least. So we kind of know what screens we need. And that will be, basically, I want to design it for here. So after you log in, I guess simply put, you should be able to see a to-do list. And then when you create, you should be able to say a title and description, click add, and then from there you should be able to add. So get lists, get items, create item, update item, delete item. I guess if you update, then it should go to the screen. I forgot to model that. I wonder if I can quickly do that. Man, it's so nice knowing how to use Figma. So this will be, the state is, this should be take out trash. Whoops. Take out trash. Ideally, that would be bigger. Wait. Oh, right. This state should be value entered. We can do focused, because why not? Oh, nope. We cannot do focused. Oh, that's cool. It added the little circle thing. And then this should be enabled. There we go. Now we have an update screen. Okay, didn't expect to do UI stuff. All right, so we have get items, create item, edit, delete. Basically a CRUD operation. Nothing too fancy. Okay, but now that that's there, all right, so I think we should start with the API layer, and I wanted to do it in Swagger just because why not? And I actually would like the help of ChatGPT. Give me Swagger specs for a CRUD API, for API that offers CRUD for to-do list items. Each item should have a title and description. Boom, done. Well, that was easy. All right, thanks for joining the stream. Bye, everybody. If only it was that easy. Actually, I think it is that easy. Let's see. Swagger. Editor. I guess I should explain this part a bit. So Swagger or OpenAPI specs are a way to define your API using machine readable specifications. So this is it in YAML format. I think you can also do it in JSON. YAML's probably the more common one, I think. So all I have to do is paste it there, and this is what it generated. So you can see here's the specifications. Like here's the path, is slash to-dos to get all to-dos, to-dos slash ID to get one item. You can you can also put and delete. So you can get one item, put an item, delete an item. And it gives you like the potential responses 200, 404, to do not found. And then it also says what the structure of how it will get returned. So you can see components, schemas, to do. That's in the bottom here. So each to do item is an object and it has a title and description and ID. Yeah, I guess ID is important. But from this specification here, we can generate this website or this documentation. So you can see there's one server, localhost 3000. That's a local server. Well, that's the description of it. I guess all of this is in the default section, which I suppose shows up if you don't say anything. You can probably list what section it's in, but that's fine. I don't care too much. What is this? Maybe you can copy it. Oh yeah, so here's the schemas. A to-do has an ID, title, and description. This is like exactly what I wanted. I actually think I don't need to do anything else. So like, let's say here's how to get all to-do items. You say, go to your API server /to-dos, you can get it, and it'll give you back an array of to-do items in JSON. We could specify more, but I only care about JSON. And you can also try it out. So if you hit that, hit execute, see, this is what the curl looks like. You get localhost 3000 /to-dos accept JSON. And the server response is load failed because I don't have a server there. We'll change that, and we'll try this out when we get the actual API up. I'm trying to think, did we make the API? We'll worry about that later. I think tonight I want to keep it short. I actually want to get to sleep on time, but I did want to make some progress on this project. So this is how to add a to-do. So when you try it out, see, you can add a JSON that looks like that. I guess in this one, you have to specify an ID, which I guess is okay. Here you have to get the ID, you can try it out, but you have to specify an ID that's a string. See? Item not found. You can update an item, give an ID, you can pass in that, and you can delete an ID. To be honest, this is all I needed. That was actually a lot faster than that's actually all I wanted. So thanks, ChatGPT. Now, I want to also design the data layer. And there's a couple of thoughts I have in mind here. One is I wanted to diagram it out using ER. Why? Because why not? It's hard to specify how your data should be. And I don't know a good way. I know there is a NoSQL workbench for DynamoDB. But I've tried that out before and I'm not a big fan of it right now. It helps, but after my data model that I was using at the time got medium sized and the app was just so slow. Like it was very painful to work with. When I tried to load up the data, modify it just took forever. And maybe that's just the limitation of the computer that I'm on. I'm using a laptop that only has 16 gigabytes of RAM. Maybe it needs a lot more. It was just a really painful experience. And then the image that it spit out was helpful. It was more like an example of what it looks like, but it's just not easy to update. If let's say if I wanted to send that to someone else, I can send the image, then I'd have to explain how the image works. If I wanted to export that into a serializable format, like, JSON or something like that, I don't even remember if that's possible. It was a little bit painful. I think if we wanted something graphical, I think an ER diagram will be a little bit more understandable. I hope. I think it will be. And ER, it could use UML. I think ER makes a little bit more sense. Entity relationship model. I did a lot of modeling, data modeling back in college. I guess you can say I'm a fan. It's kind of been instilled and ingrained upon me. I can talk about data modeling for a while. But it's also been a while. So I forgot a lot about it, you know. UML, specifications, ER diagrams, like how to do that, different associations between different entities and models. I used to use one called ORM, object relationship, ORM, object relationship. Yeah, object relationship modeling, I think, which is funny because a lot of tools are called ORMs, you know, like Fluent for Swift and Vapor, or Active Record for Ruby, and Hibernate for .NET stuff, Hibernate for Java. There's a lot of ORMs, but this is a modeling language. And specifically, I use one called Norma, specifically for my school, Newmont. Object relationship, let's see, Norma, no RAM. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know. Okay, so Terry Halpin was one of my instructors. What is this date? Okay. Free and open source plugin. Yeah, I used to use that a long time ago. Wow. Supports ORM 2, second generation ORM, and can map object role models such as database engines, XML schemas, book. I need to get that book again. Like basically, Professor Halpin ingrained into me what a good modeling model is. So I have some of those principles built into me. I don't always practice it, but it's fun. So thanks, Professor Halpin. Object role modeling, not object relationship mapping. That's why, object role modeling. And it basically looks like that. I should practice some of that again. And I think ORM, wasn't this also by Professor Halpin? No, it's... Check it out, machine readable dictionary. That'd be cool. I should practice using this again, because this, from my understanding, was like one of the most accurate ways to diagram out stuff. And like here, and I can pretty much read it. So like an employee was born on this date, then this is called their birth date, and employee is unique. It must have this. A date doesn't always need to be associated, like when you read it the other way, a date doesn't always have to be associated with employee, and each employee only has one birth date. Employee was hired on a date. I think that's, so employees unique, and I think that means required. Employee uses a company car. The combination of an employee and a company car is unique in itself. Employee has a rank. Employee doesn't always need a company car, but all employees has a rank. Oh. This one doesn't mean it has only one birth date. It just means this note here. Birth date must be less than higher date. Yeah, so, oops. All of these are like business rules, which makes sense. Like if you're born after you were hired, well, something's wrong with the data. Employee has a rank, which could be executive and non-executive. This is cool. There's a lot of diagrams that I really like. Anyways, Sorry for that. Not completely related foray into diagrams. It's just something that I'm interested in. Anyways, let's go back. So what I was saying, NoSQL Workbench, I'm not really a big fan. I do want to ask ChatGPT about, are there any good machine readable specifications for data modeling? Especially for DynamoDB. No, that's not quite what I want. I mean, yeah. NoSQL Workbench and DynamoDB local. Actually, I want to use ER diagrams. Can you make me one for the to-do list app? Hey, it's drawing stuff. I want to fix this first. Item should only need This should be for a single table design for DynamoDB. Ooh. Okay. It's getting closer to what I wanted. All right, let's take a look here. This profile 123 doesn't make too much sense. I think we can just get rid of that. But this one makes sense. For user 123, we can get to do any specific to-do item. Text representation for DynamoDB, single table design. I mean, yeah. Yes. Oh, it's generating it. Let's see what it can come up with. That'd be cool if that worked. I don't think it can spit out text well. No. Well, that's less exciting. Oh, hey, look. Can you give me code for to generate the gram? Actually, give me plant UML. Is plant UML the thing I like? I forget. Anyways, so we'll copy that. Go to plantuml.com, paste, and see what it spits out. Yeah, this is not too bad. Is that what it spit out? Okay, so we got a user, to-do item. pk user sk profile or to do. Let's fix it a bit. So the way it spit it out is kind of weird because yes, this is basically a single table design where everything's inside of this to do table, but this is not the cleanest way to represent it. I think I'm gonna make a modification. Let's see. Only have user and what do you call the other one? To do item. Make a user have 0 to many to do item. Get rid of to do table. To do table. So we want to get rid of that table. Put pk and sk in user and to do item. Let's see if ChatGPT understands. And it just spit it out immediately. That was actually pretty fast. And this look, just by the looks of it, I think this is exactly how I wanted it. Okay, so I think the way you read this is one and only one user has 0 too many to do items. The way you look up, wow, this is great. The way you look up a user is user ID. I'm gonna get rid of this. I think in the SK, we can just say profile. If you want to get their profile, you don't need to duplicate their user ID twice. Like, what does it mean if you have user 1, profile 2, profile 3? They're not gonna have that. So you might as well just say profile, I think. And then to do item, you need to pass in a user and a item ID. But this also provides us a separate access pattern where, let's say if you want to get all to do items for a specific user, you can say pk user ID and sk and then where the sk begins with to do, and then you can leave out the item ID, and that'll get you all of the items. And I just remembered I forgot to say completed. So we have to go back to the drawing board, which is fine because ChatGPT can help. That looks great. Get rid of user ID in the SK for user. We don't need that. Also add is completed. Add a boolean for the completion of the to do item. I forgot that. Perfect. Look, so profile doesn't have it. You have username, email. Why is this one the only one that says a boolean? Yeah, that's good enough for now. I mean, you can do like completed at date time. You can do an optional completed at date time. There was an argument where you can say like anytime you have a boolean, you might as well make it an optional date. Because why not? It doesn't take up that much more memory, and it gives you a lot of benefits. You can always go backwards, but you can't always go forwards. If you don't do that initially, you'll lose the ability. So that's fine. I feel like I need to save this somewhere, but that's okay. All right, so this is what our data model is going to look like, and let's think through this. When you can get all, you can get one, you can update one, you can delete 1. Or are the other ones? There's 5 operations. Get all, we can do that. Get all for a specific user. Create 1. Get 1, update 1, delete 1. We can do all those with this data model. That's perfect. But also, thank you. Now please update the Swagger spec to reflect this new field. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, there's a user. Why is there a user? ID, title, description, created at, updated at. When you create, I mean, I feel like that shouldn't be exposed to the front end. Oh, but check it out. When you post, okay, that's kind of weird. When you post, you post a to-do item without the created at, updated at, or complete. Something seem weird about that? Reset. Oh. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, one thing we could do is we could always just bloop. What does this mean? Never used. Bloop. I'm good with that. This was actually very minimal work. I didn't do anything. I just told ChatGPT to generate stuff. So now we have our data model and we have our Swagger specs. I don't know what else to do. Need to cook and eat. What if we... There was one thing I was kind of worried, not worried about, but interested in. What if we did this in Figma? Where's the AI tool? Not quite what I was hoping for. Where's the where's the ER diagram? Mind map, user flow. Ooh, life planner. Wedding, career, decision, KPI. Let's try that one more time. I've got to be doing something wrong. Is this a ER diagram? Entity. I don't know how I feel about using this one anymore. Cool. ER. Service. User journey. Peer review. That's fascinating. User interview. Kubernetes. Likert scale. Euler. Reverse brainstorming. Interview. Periodic. What? What? Who thought of this? Freyer model. I feel like I could learn a lot from this. Character conflict. That's cool. Brand personality. Project zero thinking. Goal tracking. 4 corners. What? Agile. Sequence. Oh my goodness, there's so many templates. OKRs. I could learn a lot from this. Sales funnel. Schematics. That's cool. Name that impediment. Okay. What was I doing? Could use UML. This is the one I kind of wanted. I thought I wanted. Maybe I don't. Maybe UML would have been better. Pest diagram. What about API diagram? I would have been, my mind would have been blown if they had a visual API thing. Okay, so not that. Let's try UML. Whoa. Is that Swift? No, function, that's JavaScript. Okay, so we'll grab this. We'll put this one here. We'll put, oh, nope, actually that's backwards. To do item. I don't know why that's the only one that has a Boolean. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the visual of our database. So one thing about diagramming is, like with this, it's not clear what this means. Like for instance, does a user always have to have a to-do item? Do they have one? Must they have one item? Multiple items? Can they have 0 items? Is it a have? Usually there's like a legend. In UML, it's like kind of standardized out of it. Like these are pretty standardized UML diagrams. There's no consistent definition of like this PK SK idea. But I think basically on a high level, that's kind of what I wanted. Whoa. It'd be cool if they had like an API version. Is there a way to present APIs? What's Spotlight Studio? Ooh, Redoc. I've heard about Redoc. Spotlight or Stoplight? Oh, this looks... Wait, this looks like Postman. Looks clean. Is this free? Whoa, what? $70 a month? We don't need that. Three users, what does that mean? Is Redocly open source? Redoc is what we wanted. That could be cool to use. What's the other options? Swagger UI. I think Redoc looks a little bit nicer. Swagger UI is basically what you see here, and it works. But the Redocly one looks clean. Yeah, and a lot of people use this too, I think. Oh man, and there's a search. I want this. Okay, well, I didn't want to spend too much time on this, but I did want to spend a little bit of time on this tonight, so I think my goals for tonight are done. We got the OpenAPI specs, we got the UML. Next up is just to implement it. And I'm a little bit tempted to implement it. That sounds fun. Man, I feel like such a backend engineer. Like I want to do the database and I want to do the API. It's funny because my day job is a front end. Front end's cool too. I need to figure that out. Maybe there's a lot more unknowns about that side, but maybe I think maybe tomorrow we'll try to do. I really need to do the front end a little bit maybe I could finish up the backend first, because that's like simpler in my mind. Maybe that's why I want to do it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna think about that, and I think we'll call it there. I'm gonna go cook, get ready for bed, because it's getting late. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed that. Generating an ER diagram of our data model and generating the Swagger specs, open API specs for the API. Fun stuff, I think. But we'll continue more, work on this little by little. We'll get there. And I have so many more ideas from exploring a couple of different things. I'm very excited about. I'll share that with you more later at some other point, because the idea is a little bit basically in a everything app. I want to be able to, like, let's say, give you email, give you storage, give you Git repository, give you photos, contacts, calendar, sync it up with your phone. I think that should be easy enough to do. I really think so. But it all starts with this to-do list, or the Pomodoro one maybe. And it could be different apps, but the way I'm building it out, it could be different apps very easily, or it could be one app. It's using the modular architecture, so it's very easy to split it up into different apps or the same app, I think. Okay, I'm gonna go. Thanks for joining me. See you guys next time. Bye.